CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Brendan Purdy.
A good size of our membership, are making over 20% over 4 years, some even higher than that.
Tonight on CTV News, contract confirmation. We break down the deal for thousands of Alberta public sector workers. Good evening, and thanks for joining us. Thousands of public sector workers who were on the brink of striking are instead getting a raise. After more than a year of bargaining with the government, AUPE members voted to approve a new collective agreement. CTV's Jeremy Thompson has more on the deal and what it could mean for teachers who are also looking to finalize a new agreement.
An air of relief at AUPE HQ. After a year and a half of bargaining, the union has reached a deal with the provincial government, narrowly avoiding a strike.
Before 4:30 yesterday, we didn't know whether that would be the case. This could be a very different press conference.
The agreement includes a 12% raise over 4 years for the 24,000 members who work in government services, administrators, social workers, sheriffs, prison guards, court clerks, firefighters, and more. Finance Minister Nate Horner says the agreement balances competitive compensation with long-term stability for both employees and the public service.
We do believe that they make the province run every single day and make sure people are healthy and safe in whatever role they play.
While the flat raise applies to everyone, President Guy Smith says about 70% of workers will get an extra pay bump, recognizing accomplishments like years of service or dangerous jobs like fighting wildfires.
A good size of our membership, are making over 20% over 4 years, some even higher than that.
One labor relations professor says it's good news for Alberta teachers currently at their own bargaining impasse.
But it does mean there is more money on the table and that the government is prepared to spend it, just not on core wage increases.
An ATA spokesperson tells CTV the latest proposal from the province offered raises teachers have already turned down, and no further meetings are on the schedule. While AUPE leadership is glad to reach a settlement, they say it's likely not enough to fully address the rising cost of living.
$500 to $700 rent increases, their insurance has gone up, their utilities have gone up, and they're using the food bank.
The new agreement lasts until spring 2028. The team is already preparing for the next round of bargaining. Jeremy Thompson, CTV News, Edmonton.
Police have charged a man and are looking for another in connection to a fire that destroyed an elementary school playground. The July fire severely damaged the St. Pius playground. It's still closed. Police determined that the fire was arson. 20-year-old Raiden Bigstone is facing an arson charge. Police are also looking for 20-year-old Darius Bigstone. They've issued a province-wide warrant for his arrest. Anyone with any information is asked to contact police or Crime Stoppers. Police are also looking for tips related to the suspicious death of a senior in Old Strathcona. Police say last Saturday, officers found a man in medical distress in a backyard near 104th Street and 85th Ave. The 82-year-old was taken to hospital and died of his injuries. Police say while an autopsy was done this week, more testing is needed to determine how he died. Police believe the man was last seen walking in the alley west of 104th Street between 85th and 86th Avenues around 6 o'clock on Saturday morning. A parental support group is growing in Alberta. It encourages parents to pledge not to give their kids access to smartphones until they're teenagers. The group says the effects of social media are having a detrimental effect on children. CTV's Connor Hogg has the details.
I look at it as mostly a mental health initiative.
Kirsten Sweet is spreading the word about Unplugged. The St. Albert chapter of the parental advocacy group started last year. It's now expanding province-wide, trying to delay the use of smartphones.
Encouraging parents across the country to wait until at least 14 before giving their child their first smartphone by signing an online pledge.
Unplugged is asking for parents to commit to delaying the technology and calling for legislation raising the minimum age for social media use to 16. It also wants to see privacy rules so companies can't monitor the data of underage users.
Having young children on social media is not a healthy step for them. We want kids learning how to use tech responsibly at age-appropriate times.
When you're 16, everyone's got it, so you want to be a part of that group.
There's pros and cons, I think.
Depends on your family situation.
What if something went wrong? It should be able to contact, right? Yeah.
Students we spoke to say kids need phones to be able to contact parents and each other. They also agree that social media has affected the way they grew up.
I'm definitely on my phone a lot more.
TikTok and stuff, short form content, It's like people are kind of getting addicted to that, right? It's almost like a drug, like the dopamine.
I know how I feel after being on my phone, and I don't like it, so I can't imagine giving it to my kid with all these weird feelings of social media.
North Vancouver MP Patrick Weiler is supporting Unplugged. In a statement to CTV News, he says other countries have moved to restrict social media use for kids. Weiler says a balance must be struck between kids' online literacy and their own safety. As for Sweet's own kids, they think a little less time on a phone isn't a bad thing.
They say, I don't want to spend, my life on a phone or on a screen. There's a right place and a right time for that, but there needs to be some balance. Apps are designed to engage the user and keep them on as long as possible.
Nova Scotia has introduced legislation that would instill a social media minimum age. Unplugged wants to see other provinces and the feds follow suit. Connor Hogg, CTV News, Edmonton.
A Canadian Armed Forces member deployed to Latvia has been reported missing since Tuesday. A search is underway for Warrant Officer George Hull, who was last seen in Latvia. He's a vehicle technician based in Edmonton. He was deployed as part of the Aviation Battalion to the NATO Multinational Brigade. Latvian police are leading the investigation. They're getting support from the Canadian Military Police and the NATO Multinational Brigade. Hull's family has been notified and is being provided with support. The Prime Minister visited with troops in Latvia last month. Construction on dozens of permanent supportive veterans' homes is underway in northwest Edmonton. Officials held a groundbreaking and Indigenous blessing on the site in the Athlon neighborhood today. It will be the first site in Alberta run by the organization Veterans House Canada. It currently has one other location in Ottawa. The goal is to have Edmonton veterans moving in before the winter of 2026. The organization's executive director says while veterans make up about 1% of our country's population, they account for about 5% of the homeless population.
Veterans have served our country, and not everybody has a smooth transition out of military life. And we're here to help pick them up and to get them back on their proper path to where they can succeed in their future lives and what their hopes and dreams are. But without those supports, it is very challenging out there.
Once completed, the building will have 40 studio units. Veterans House Canada will provide rent supplements. Afternoon traffic on the Anthony Henday was slowed to a crawl this afternoon after a semi-truck hauling an excavator collided with an overpass. The semi was traveling northbound on the Henday when it hit the White Mud overpass, shutting down the right-hand lane in that direction. The force of the impact knocked pieces of concrete out of the overpass. However, it didn't affect traffic on the White Mud. According to Strathcona RCMP, no injuries were reported at the scene. 10 Canadians are en route to North Korea for the World Archery Championships, including one archer from right here in Edmonton. This is recurve archer Aaron Cox's first trip to the World Championships and his first time making the national team since 2019. The Worlds are the second biggest tournament in the sport next to the Olympics. Cox has been hooked on the sport since receiving a recurve bow for his 12th birthday.
It's really just me against myself. Some days I'll be doing well, sometimes I'll be doing poorly, but I know it's all my fault. I just got to try and be the best me I can be when I get out there, and that's what I do every time, and hopefully one day that all works out, right?
Beyond just competing, Cox is looking forward to learning from some of the best archers in the world. Today marks Polycystic Kidney Disease Awareness Day. It's an incurable genetic condition that impacts approximately 12 million people globally, but it's not often talked about. CTV's Jacqueline Wilson has more.
It's definitely like an unpredictable disease.
Erica Sadeko is one of 66,000 Canadians living with polycystic kidney disease.
I was diagnosed with polycystic kidney disease when I was a teenager, and for the most part back then there wasn't a lot of knowledge about the disease, and so it was just kind of brushed under the table. I was told like it's basically like having freckles on your kidneys.
PKD is characterized by the growth of fluid-filled cysts in the kidneys, which can lead to a decline in function and eventually failure, requiring dialysis or transplant. A kidney is normally the size of a fist, but with the disease, it can grow to the size of a football.
I just want people to know that they're not alone. I felt alone for a long time.
Sadeko reached out to the PKD Foundation and has since found a community of support.
It's not necessarily a rare disease. It's rarely talked about. About 10 years ago, the first treatment option became available to eligible PKD patients. And the treatment does help to slow down the progression of the disease. But right now, the focus is on supporting families, bringing attention to this disease so that we can fund more research, we can add to our body of knowledge, and hopefully one day actually have a cure.
Kenny encourages people to sign up for organ donation. As for Sadeko, she's living every day to its fullest.
I don't let it define me, and I don't know, if anything, I think it's like caused me to be more resilient.
Jacqueline Wilson, CTV News, Calgary.
A van parked in West Edmonton this afternoon was providing a free medical service for men. The man van travels across Alberta and checks men age 40 to 70 for signs of prostate cancer. Volunteers use a simple blood test, so there's no need to drop your drawers. Prostate cancer has very few symptoms and is more treatable if it's caught in the early stages. September is Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. Volunteers hope more men will take advantage of this free service.
The healthcare system in Alberta is in a bit of a strained situation these days, and to be able to walk up to a van like this in a parking lot and have a very complimentary and serious test undertaken and give up 15 minutes of your time, it's phenomenal.
The man van will make another stop in our city on Saturday outside of IKEA. It'll be there between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. Lego enthusiasts are the latest Canadians to feel the impacts of the U.S. trade war. The company is suspending some online offerings in Canada and the U.S. due to tariffs, including its Pick a Brick program. CTV's Christine Long has more.
The Lego Pick a Brick program gives fans the opportunity to reimagine their creations.
The Pick a Brick program allows you to custom order individual pieces. You spend 50 cents for this piece, $2 for that piece. Get the most specialized pieces out there.
For example, Lego enthusiast Chris Abel can take a tiger and make it a snow tiger. He says Canadian fans have made their mark with Lego because of those specialized bricks, like the Quebec Lighthouse designed by Sandro Quattrini.
It's now one of the most popular sets that you can buy in stores. So this Pick a Brick program helps lead us to have more Canadians involved in creating sets that we can go and buy at stores.
Trouble is, changes to trade rules brought in by the Trump administration. That means packages under $800 are no longer exempt from duties. And sellers are now required to collect tariffs before delivery.
All those little tiny pieces are now subject to tariffs, to the point where it's just not worth financially for Lego to run it anymore.
Currently in the Quartier des Spectacles at Complex Maestria, a collection called The Art of the Brick shows the possibilities with Lego, and the people we spoke to say the tariffs are hurting their hobby.
You know, I think creativity should be encouraged above everything else.
I don't see why we should, give or pay tax to another country because creativity has no frontier.
Abel says suspending the Pick a Brick program in North America isn't just bad for fans, but for Lego as well.
There's a lot of competition out there in terms of other types of puzzle activities out there.
Lego says it's working to resolve the issue as quickly as possible, yet in the meantime, Lego lovers will have to find new ways to make their own creations brick by brick. Christine Long, CTV News.
Just ahead, a fairer way to spend the day. We check out the Blacksmith World Championships in Calgary. Plus, relearning to fly. An injured hawk is released back to the skies.
It means everything. It's the reason why we do this. So when we have these opportunities to get them back out in the wild and continue to, fulfill their niche in ecology and breed, this is why we do it.
Good evening, folks. Sunshine, virtually no smoke, and light wind over the next couple of days with a warming trend that'll have daytime highs in the mid to upper 20s through this weekend. So look at your forecast.
Welcome back. The federal cabinet sat down for a second day of meetings in Toronto today, focusing on what the Liberals call tough budget choices. CTV's Judy Trin reports.
C'est un budget d'austérité et d'investissement.
Delivering the Prime Minister's vision of a budget with both austerity and investment measures falls on Finance Minister François-Philippe Champagne. He was asked if spending restraints would result in job losses in the public sector.
There'll be adjustment in different places, but at the same time, we're going to be empathic to make sure that we're always there for Canadians.
Cabinet ministers met behind closed doors to find money for major projects and defense, and to present what savings they found. The Carney government is aiming to cut day-to-day spending of up to 15% over the next 3 years. Federal unions call the move reckless.
I think that public service cuts can do a real harm to Canadians because the public service is there every day to serve Canadians and to protect them and to keep them safe.
The number of federal public servants has grown by more than 100,000 workers in a decade. The data shows that as of June, there were more than 357,000 public servants.
We're certainly looking to see what the government proposes to do around addressing workforce, whether that's a direct cut or more of a careful attrition and reprioritization.
He's doing neither investment nor austerity. What he's doing is even more bureaucracy and spending.
Complicating matters, the government will take in billions less in revenue this year. After Donald Trump complained, the Prime Minister dropped the digital services tax and the retaliatory tariffs against the U.S. Judy Trin, CTV News, Toronto.
A Swainson's hawk injured in a car strike is now back in the sky. Calgary wildlife crews released it earlier this afternoon. Our Kevin Green was there as the majestic bird spread its wings and took off.
Inside this covered-up cage is a Swainson's hawk about to be released after nearly a month in rehab, including time in a flight pen to build up its strength.
This guy's a young bird that came to us like 23 days ago, and he was clipped by a car. So luckily in the area there were people around that were able to respond to him, and so they contacted us to tell us they had the injured bird.
Releasing the hawk close to where it was found gives it the best chance to reconnect with its home range and rejoin its parents as they begin their migration south. They winter as far away as Argentina. Hesitation at first, daunted seeing the outdoors for the first time in a month, but after about a minute, with a strong flap of the wings, he's once again soaring over the prairie.
It means everything. It's the reason why we do this. So when we have these opportunities to get them back out in the wild and continue to, fulfill their niche in ecology and breed, this is why we do it.
But rehabilitation can be challenging and costly.
We would prefer that people give us a call. Again, it's safety for yourself, it's safety for the animal. Again, these animals are often sick and we don't know what they have, and there's a lot of disease in wildlife that can be transferred to humans.
Thanks to someone who did call, this Swainson's hawk now has a second chance at life in the wild and a long journey south ahead of it. Kevin Green, CTV News, Calgary.
The world's best farriers are in Alberta this week for the Blacksmith World Championships. 65 competitors from around the world are testing their skills in Calgary. The championship pits farriers against the clock in events like trimming, shoeing, and forge welding. On Sunday, the winner takes home $75,000 in prize money.
If you've never seen it before, and you see a horse getting shod with a straight piece of steel, they'll manipulate it, they'll section it, they'll bend it, they'll put the holes in it. Come see, come smell it, come listen to it, come smell it. It's tradition. It's been going on for 1,000 years. It's been going on a long time.
The Blacksmith World Championships run until Sunday at Spruce Meadows. After the break, you have the right to remain strong. We introduce you to the strongest man in Canada.
I'm the first Western athlete in the strongman circuit history in Canada to ever win.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Welcome back. Temperature's pretty close to average today. About 20 for a daytime high, 11 degrees this morning. It'll be considerably cooler tomorrow morning, though. And there may even be some patchy frost in parts of central and north central Alberta, especially through low-lying areas, frost-prone regions. I think in town, most areas are going to stay above zero, though. But some 2s and 3s out there. You can see clear skies overnight tonight and through the day tomorrow. A little bit of thin cloud cover starts to make its way across on Saturday. Doesn't look like that's going to block too much sunshine. As far as the smoke is concerned, after some high-risk readings on the Air Quality Health Index early this morning, things really improved significantly through this afternoon. Still a little smoky, though, in parts of western and northwestern Alberta, and that'll be the case over the next couple of days. But that smoke should avoid the Edmonton area. Watch this big warm-up. Not a lot of red on the map through the day today, but watch how this warmer air starts to stream in from the west as we head through the weekend. So I've got 26s in the forecast for Sunday and early next week. There's a chance we get to 27 or 28 one or two of those days. Somewhere in the mid to upper 20s through the weekend and early next week. 2s, Fort McMurray, Cold Lake tomorrow morning. Same in Coronation. Red Deer down to about 3 degrees. In the city, we'll be at about 7 degrees tomorrow morning. Outside the city, you're probably closer to the 3 or 4 degree range. Daytime highs tomorrow afternoon should be right around 20 across the northeast. A little bit of patchy cloud cover there. Sunshine in the northwest and mid-20s for Grand Prairie as well as Peace River. Close to 30 in Jasper. Right around 20 for Red Deer, Coronation with some sunshine and high teens into the Lloydminster area. We'll get to about 22, 23 for a daytime high tomorrow after that cool start to the day. Morning lows do jump back into double digits, though, through the weekend and into Monday, Tuesday, and 25s, 26s with the chance we're maybe even a bit warmer than that Sunday, Monday. Slight chance of a scattered shower late Tuesday, but that does not haul in any cooler airs. We stay in the mid-20s all of next week. That is your forecast.
A man in Edmonton recently earned the title of strongest man in Canada. When he's not training or competing, he's protecting our community. CTV's Amanda Anderson explains.
From an early age, Tristan Hoth was inspired by some of the strongman competitors he saw on TV.
It was always something that, myself and my dad and my brother would always try and watch together.
After years of hard work, Hoth is not only one of them, he now has the title of Canada's strongest man in 2025.
The amount of work I've put in it's been 8 years of competing, and to hold this title for 2025, I was like, I'm the first Western athlete in the strongman circuit history in Canada to ever win.
The title and trophy were earned through 6 events at the national show in late August.
So I scored 74.5 out of a total possible 78 points.
You gotta turn it on now. This, the toughest event, one Hoth says no one finished. They had to pull a 35,000-pound dump truck loaded with concrete blocks to the finish line.
And then I pulled, I think it was a 60-foot course, and I pulled 56 feet. So shy by about 4 feet.
He was 12 points ahead going into the last challenge. He crushed it, becoming only the 5th or 6th person to finish in the event's history.
Being one of those top guys ever to finish the stone run, cement myself in history. I had so many emotions going through my body and myself at that point. It was unbelievably, I was just so happy for it.
When Hoth isn't in the gym, he's out protecting people in southeast Edmonton as a police officer.
Training's helped because I'm a large individual now and I command presence when I come into a room, and it's very obvious at a lot of places that, as soon as I walk in, people pay attention. Yeah, there's been quite a few requests for me to be on different squads. And
Hoth not only hopes to stand on the podium at an elite world competition in the future, but hopes to keep his national title as long as possible.
I'm excited to defend it next year.
Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Edmonton.
All right, folks, that's all from us tonight. Thanks for wrapping up your day with us here on CTV Edmonton. I'll be off the next few days celebrating my friends Montana and Jeremy's wedding. Congrats, guys. Evan Kenny will have you covered for all your late night news needs. In the meantime, I'll see you back here next Wednesday at 11:30. Until then, take care and bye for now.